And I'd like to just give a big warm welcome to everybody. It's wonderful to gather together as a whole school community. We don't do it very often, and so welcome to our senior students who've come across from Rice campus this morning for our achievement assembly for semester 1. I'm not going to be up here speaking much at all today. I'm handing over the assembly to some of our fantastic Year 12 leaders who have put their hand up to run proceedings today. And so I just remind you that it's not an easy thing to be up here in front of the entire school population. So let's make sure that we're paying attention, we're really respectful, not talking to people beside us and so forth, as we recognise and celebrate some of the wonderful achievements that have been happening around Emmanuel over the past term and almost 2 terms. So I'd like to introduce our 2 MCs for this morning, Morgan Barbie and Paddy O'Brien, 2 of our Year 12 leaders. Let's give them a big warm welcome.
Good morning, staff and students. Welcome to our whole school assembly. Much has happened at Emmanuel College since we last all gathered as a school community for our Easter Passion Play. Today we will recognise and celebrate a range of achievements from semester 1. Before we join together in prayer, Emmanuel College acknowledges the land on which we learn, create and grow is the traditional land of the Gundi Chamara people who educated their children in their language and spiritually and in their traditions of the culture for many thousands of years. We also acknowledge and respect the cultural diversity of students, families and staff represented in the Emmanuel College community in the past, present and future. We support the principles of a reconciled Australia for all its people, in the interest of our children, tomorrow's leaders. I now invite Mr. O'Sullivan, Director of Enhancing Catholic Identity, and student leaders to lead us in prayer and launch the Vinnie's Toiletry Drive for 2019.
We will now start with prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord our God, fill our hearts with compassion for those who lack the warmth of a home. We pray today and every day for all men, women and children who suffer because they have no shelter, those who sleep in our streets and public spaces, who have nowhere safe to lay their heads, and who wander from place to place as a way of life.
We pray for broken families who cannot pay the rent, for those who are lost and abandoned, for those on the streets whose mind have been touched by illness or whose bodies are sorely affected by disabilities. We ask that your merciful grace be poured out upon those with addictions, those who have given up in the face of enormous tribulations, and those driven into a homeless life by crushing poverty.
God of compassion, your love for us is revealed in your beloved Son Jesus, who was born into a homelessness, lived with nowhere to lay his head, and died for us in agony on the cross. Let us have the commitment as people of the gospel to be ever mindful of our obligations we have to the poor and marginalised to work in his name. Amen.
Saint Joseph, pray for us. May the Spirit of Catherine holding in the Christ guide us all that we do. Amen. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Good morning, everyone. Over the next week or two, a box will arrive in your homeroom for our annual toiletry drive. Now, those toiletries will go to local people, and they'll also go to some of the homeless people that young biddies meet on the streets on their 4 retreats this year. For Year 7 students, you'll be asked to, if you can bring some toothpaste and toothbrushes to put in the box, and the other students, you'll have different toiletries to bring along, and it'll be part of the poster. So I really encourage you to donate, because when we donate we can take some fantastic clothing, toiletries. We've got some mothers and grandmothers knitting at the moment who are knitting scarves, beanies, and as you can appreciate, it's been cold the last week and none of us would want to be homeless. So if we can help in some small way through the toiletry drive, as a Catholic school, I'd encourage you to please do that. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. O'Sullivan. We hope that all your levels can get on board and support the Toilets You Drive over the coming weeks. I would now like to introduce Zara Lukis, who will give the college captain's address today.
Good morning, staff and students. I'd first like to congratulate everybody on the fantastic first half of the year that we've all had. This year's theme, Aspire and Inspire, launched earlier in the year, has been a constant reminder for us all to consider our own individual strengths and how they can help us to make a difference within our college and in the wider community. In the recent year, I myself have been inspired by world leader and current New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, most recently when a tragic attack took place at 2 mosques in Christchurch. Ardern showed the world her fullness as a leader as she empathetically and humbly guided New Zealand through this devastating time. Rallying the people behind the theme, We Are One, she visited Muslim communities the day after the attack wearing a headscarf as a sign of respect. Ardern's response to this devastating event, along with her swift actions following the tragedy, have inspired myself, along with many others, to show empathy and respect for all of humanity, and most importantly, care for all of those around us. Today's assembly is an opportunity to celebrate everyone's achievements and be proud of the amazing school community we are all a part of. Be sure to celebrate the small things too, and give yourself credit for all of the wonderful things you are capable of. Coming into the end of term 2, we may often find ourselves a little bit tired and worn out. I encourage you all to check in with yourselves and those around you, and ensure we are working together, aspiring to be the best versions of ourselves, whilst inspiring others to do the same in the process. As Joe mentioned at the start of the year, those who think they can, and those who think they can't, are both usually right. I urge you all to keep this in mind, keep up the great work, and continue striving for your goals. I would like to congratulate and commend all of our Year 7 students and other new students who have started their journey with us at Emmanuel College this year. You have all settled into life at the college extremely well, embracing every opportunity that has come your way. To our Year 8 students, I wish you well for your camp to Melbourne in early term 3. This is a great opportunity for new experiences and to make new friendships, so I really encourage you all to make the most out of it. I would also like to wish the best of luck to the Year 9 to 11 students as they come close to their mid-year exams. Always remember, anything that you set your mind to is achievable. Finally, to my fellow Year 12 students, we are halfway through our final year of secondary education. Continue to aspire to your own individual goals and cherish every moment that passes by. I encourage each and every one of you here today to make the most of the rest of this year. Aspire to be your best rather than the best. I invite you to challenge yourself and be inspired by those around you. And I'm sure that what you'll find is that you are capable of overcoming anything that comes your way. Thank you.
Thank you, Zara. Our first presentation today involves welcoming our guests from Bicycle Network. They are attending our assembly today to acknowledge the great work of the senior VCAL class and to make a special presentation. Please welcome Ride to School coordinators Emma and Lisa, along with Year 12 VCAL students Bill Bailey and CJ Rantel.
Hello everyone, my name is Lisa and Emma, and this is my colleague Lisa. We're visiting from Bicycle Network. Specifically, we work in the Ride to School team. So one of the things that we do at Ride to School is that we run a grants program where schools can apply for money to help get more people at their school and in the community active and riding bikes. So the reason that we're here today is a group of the senior VCAL students applied for one of the grants to contribute to their Cycling Without Age program. And we're here to present them with $5,000 to contribute to that program, which I will pass over to them and they can explain a bit more about what they'll be doing with that.
Thank you to the Bicycle Network for supporting our project with this generous grant. As part of Ride to School Day in Term 1, we aim to increase the active travel rate at school and saw an increase on the day from our usual 20% of students walking, riding, skating or scooting to over 50%. We encourage you to continue to seek active ways to travel to school. We will be continuing to promote opportunities to have you throughout the year.
The Year 12 VCAL team have been working hard raising money to go towards their Cycling Without Age project, a project targeting social connectedness in our community. The team are aiming to raise $15,000 to purchase Warrnambool's first triathlon. The VCAL team are organising a school casual close day to encourage the school community to be a part of the fundraising efforts. All we ask is for students to come in casual clothes on the day, to bring a gold coin donation and to wear a splash of colour. $1 would be great, but the more the better to help reach our fundraising goal. So this Friday, the 7th of June, let's all get involved and support social connectedness in our community through Cycling Without Age. I'd also like to thank Lisa and Emma for coming along.
Well done to the VCAL students, and thanks again to Emma and Lisa for attending our assembly today. We now move to acknowledging some of our outstanding academic and cultural achievements from semester 1. We begin by welcoming Miss Joseph, Head of Languages, to the stage to make a very special presentation to a VCE student.
Morning everybody. I'd like to invite Sarasa Debucci to the stage, please. Today we have great pleasure in recognising Sarasa Debucci, who was yesterday presented with a Premier's Award at the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre. The Premier's VCE Awards recognise top performing and students for their outstanding academic achievements. Sarasa was one of 293 students from Victoria who received an award, and one of 2 students who have received an award for being the highest achieving student in Japanese in 2018. Sarasa's award is testament to her hard work and dedication. Congratulations, Sarasa. Please join with me in congratulating her.
Congratulations, Sarasa. We now acknowledge some outstanding results in public speaking. The junior divisions of the Emmanuel College Public Speaking Awards for 2019 were held recently in the LRC. The event was very successful and illustrated just how adept some of our students are at the art of speaking publicly. The winner of the junior division was Louise Tamer from Year 9. The runner-up was Matt Gone from Year 7. Could you please come forward to receive your awards? All contestants showed great poise in their deliveries, and the content of their speeches was mature, insightful and stimulating. Congratulations to Louise and Matt. Please give them a round of applause. Whilst we recognise Louise for her Emmanuel College Public Speaking Award, we should also acknowledge her success in another public speaking competition. Emmanuel College had 6 students who entered the regional round of the Rostrum National Public Speaking Competition, which was held last month in Warrnambool. I am pleased to say that a number of our students both got through the junior and senior division semi-finals of the competition in Warrnambool, and that Louise went on to win the South West Region Division and will now progress on to the state final in the junior division. I would like to commend Alex Tamer, Austin Edwards, Matilda Edge, Olivia Kelly and Maggie Moss, who also competed very well in the rostrum competition and did our school proud. Please give all students a round of applause.
I would now like to invite Mr. Laidler, Head of English, to provide a report on the DAB debating.
Morning everybody. It's pleasing to announce that our Year 9 attends debating team of Ben Pennington, Sarah Ewing, Oliver Hammond, Louise Tabor and Ben Harvey were victorious in taking out the Debaters Association of Victoria Regional Final at Hamilton and Alexandra College on Thursday the 23rd of May. It was a fierce competition, and our students were brilliant, winning 2 rounds of debating to qualify for the final. And in the final itself, they were outstanding, completely picking apart their opponents' arguments. Well done to everyone, and I invite you to the stage.
Once again, well done to all the students involved. The area of student leadership is one that continues to grow. The willingness of students to step up, serve their school and the wider community, as well as develop themselves as individuals, is to me commended. A current example of such leadership is demonstrated by a group of Year 11 students who are involved in this year's Future Leaders of Industry program that is run by the local council. Future Leaders of Industry is a school-based program aimed at Year 11s studying at schools in Warrnambool City, Moyne and Corangamite Shires. It involves an immersive program days, group activities, team building, and participants being matched with industry-based mentors. This year, Emmanuel College had 7 successful applicants. They are Caitlin Garner, Bevan McNichol, Harrison Carroll Beard, Sophie Wollstonecroft, Nick Egan, Molly O'Brien, and Ella Titmus. Please join me in congratulating these students. We wish them well throughout the rest of the program. We now move on to celebrating the outstanding performances of our swimmers, athletes and cross-country runners at the House Carnivals. I invite Emily McDonald, Assistant Sport Coordinator, to the stage to assist with the medal presentations. We will now present the swimming age group champions. So students, please come up to the stage when your name is read out, and just please hold your applause till the age groups have been announced, till all age groups have been announced. So we'll start with the 12 to 13 years. Anna Dixon from Macaulay House. Fionn Ginley from Maguire House. (14 years), Mimi Jenkins from Macaulay House. Thomas Morrison from Egan House. 15 years, Victoria McPhee, Rice House. Alexandra Johnson from Macaulay House. 16 years, Amy Johnson from Macaulay House. Will McNeil, Egan House. (17 years, Emma Ragg, Maguire House. Charlie Moncrief, Maguire House. 18 to 20 years, Sarah Flardy from Egan House. And Darcy Worrell from Rice House. Swimming medallions were presented after the sports, hence the reason why not all students are receiving the medals today. Anyway, please join in congratulating all the swimmers, the age group champions of the swimming. And to add to this, a big congratulations to Macaulay House for taking out the house swimming title for 2019.
We will now present the athletics age group junior. 12 to 13 years, Sam Carter, Maguire House. Grace Kelly, Macaulay House. 14 years, Riley Memphis, Macaulay House. Emmanuel James, Egan House. 15 years, Oliver Hammond, Macaulay House. Jenna Cahill, Rice House, and Ali Ryan, Maguire House. "16 years, Bailey Cumming, Macaulay House. Olivia Maris, Maguire House. "17 years, Jack Burke, Macaulay House. Eloise Walbrook, Egan House. 18 to 20 years, Harry Ryan, Rice House. Nikki McKenzie, Macaulay House. It should also be noted that Grace Kelly equalled the Greater Western Region record from 2012 in the girls 12 to 13 100 metres sprint with a time of 13.27 seconds. Grace also competed for Victoria at the National Championships held in September in Term 1. Please join me in congratulating the Athletics Age Champions. A big congratulations once again to Macaulay House for taking out the House Athletics title in 2019. Second place went to Maguire House, Egan House third, and Rice House fourth place.
We will now present cross-country age group champions. So from 12 to 13 years, Abby Titmus from Maguire House, Sam Carter, Maguire House. 14 years, Alicia Ralston, Rice House, Darcy Bridgewater, Macaulay House. 15 years, Asher Peterson, Rice House, and Henry Rhodes from Maguire House. 16 years, Archie Stevens, Rice House, Chloe Windle, Rice House. 17 years, Quinn Edgell from Maguire House. 18 to 20 years, Jared Blackman-Noda from the Rice House, and Rachel Dixon, Macaulay House. Please join in congratulating the cross-country age champions. A big congratulations to Rice House for taking out the House Cross Country title for 2019 too. And again, second place for the third time this year went to Maguire House, with Macaulay third and Egan House in fourth. Semester 1 was a very busy term, with a number of sporting teams competing for Emmanuel College. We would like to acknowledge some of the great results from Semester 1. These include overall winning score at the Western District Swimming and Western District Cross Country. Emmanuel had 13 students compete at the State Swimming Championships in Melbourne, with Alex Johnson, Year 9, finishing third in the 50 backstroke and third in the 200 freestyle. Along with intermediate girls volleyball competed in the state finals, and the intermediate boys tennis competed in state finals as well.
We would also like like to acknowledge some individual students who are represented or qualified for state and national representative squads. Could the following students please come to the stage? Eloise Swarbrick, Gabrielle Lapide, George Stevens and Liam Herbert. Congratulations to Year 11 student Eloise Swarbrick on making the School Sport Australia Tennis All-Australian team. Eloise was one of 16 school students selected to play in the National Schools Tennis Championships held in Adelaide from May 4th to 11th, which is conducted by School Sport Victoria in partnership with Tennis Australia and attracts Australian ranking points. Eloise hopes to break into the top 100 ranked women in Australia in the coming year. Well done, Eloise. Congratulations also to Year 11 student Gabrielle. Earlier this year, Gabby spent 2 weeks in Bangkok competing in the Under-21 Thailand Junior Volleyball Championships. The team selection came from an invitation from Volleyball Australia after Gabby has represented Victoria in the last 3 national competitions. Gabby and the Volleyball Australia Junior Women's Development Program have done Australia proud. Despite the Australian gold team only winning a handful of sets, the girls, all under 18, were exceptional in the 40-degree heat. The standard of competition was really high, with 40 teams made up of the best players across Thailand. Well done, Gabby.
Also, 2 other Emmanuel students, George Stevens and Liam Herbert, have recently been selected in AFL state squads. Congratulations to George in Year 8, who has been selected in the 15 years and under boys Victorian football team, which will compete at the School Sports Australia Australian Football Championships held in Launceston, Tasmania, from the 27th of July until the 3rd of August. Congratulations to Liam Herbert in Year 12. Liam has previously excelled in basketball, where he represented Australia at the Under-17 World Cup. He's now turned his attention to Aussie rules and has been successful in being selected to represent Victoria country in the upcoming national championships, played at various AFL grounds across Australia over the next month. Congratulations and good luck to both George and Liam. Well done to everyone that has been acknowledged today. Additionally, we also recognise that nearly every student in the Emmanuel Centre today could most certainly be recognised for some sort of achievement or another so far this year. So we congratulate them, in particular those students who have received merit awards. Finally, and most importantly, like Zara touched on earlier, we encourage you all to continue.
A couple more announcements. I'd like to invite Paddy and Morgan to come forward, and can we please, on behalf of all of the school today, give a big round of applause to our MCs, Paddy and Morgan. They did a fantastic job. As I said, it's not easy getting up here in front of everybody. So well done and thank you. And thanks to Zara for her school captain's address today. I just wanted to make acknowledgement of one more achievement, and unfortunately our college principal, Mr Morgan, couldn't be with us at our assembly this morning, but it's important nonetheless to acknowledge that 30 years of service to Catholic education was something that Mr Morgan was recognised for last week. You might recall that last week was Catholic Education Week, and at a ceremony on Friday evening in Ballarat, Mr Morgan was recognised for his 30 years of dedicated service to Catholic education. And so on behalf of the Emmanuel College community, I'd like to make a public acknowledgement of this achievement, and Mr Morgan, as I say, unfortunately wasn't able to join us for this morning's assembly. But we thank him for the 6.5 years of leadership he has provided the Emmanuel College community, and I'm sure at another time later in a whole school assembly we'll be able to acknowledge that, and he'll probably thank you for that acknowledgement. So well done to Mr. Morgan. Okay, a couple of other thank yous that I'd like to give and a few other messages before we start organising our dismissal back for the start of period 2, which was the aim for today, being close to exams and so forth. I'd just like to thank all the students and staff who assisted in putting today's assembly together. And in particular, I'd like to again congratulate all of the wonderful achievements. As Paddy said, we could have just about had a couple of 100 other students up here on the stage today who have made some fantastic growth in their development, whether it be academically or whether it be in the arts, in the area of public speaking, whether it be on the sporting fields or courts. I'd encourage you to continue to strive for your best, as we've heard a couple of times in the last few whole school gatherings. It's not about being the best, but what your best might look like. And it's great to hear and see that people continue to really strive to better themselves as young people. And that's really what we ask of you here at Emmanuel. Even in the last couple of weeks, we've seen some great efforts. Yesterday, I popped out to the GWR cross country out of Deakin, and we had some fantastic results out there yesterday from our cross country runners on what was a pretty difficult day. I know there's lots of other things happening between now and the end of the term. We have a number of sporting teams and other events happening. We've got another vintage retreat happening later this week. Got Year 10s heading up on camp and work experience again, and as Zara touched on, we've got our Year 9 to 11 exams happening as well. So I'd encourage you to finish the term well. We know that the weather has taken a bit of a turn over the last week, and we're probably, gearing ourselves up for what could be, the long winter grind. But it's really important during that time that you look after yourself. Make sure that, if you are too unwell to be at school, that you're not at school. But at the same time, with Google Classroom and all that sort of stuff nowadays, you can still be catching up and continuing along with all your work. But try and get yourself here as much as you can when you are on the mend. 3.5 weeks until the end of term, and at the end of a semester, we generally have a lot of work that needs to be completed and handed in, and that can be a bit of a stressful time. I'd encourage you just to try and stay organised, stay on top of things. Don't let little things become big problems by putting them off. And I'm sure that if you just ask for that little bit of extra assistance from your teachers, they'll be more than happy to provide you with that assistance. I'd like to thank Mr Brown, the maintenance crew and the trainees for setting up the Emmanuel Centre this morning. Had to come in pretty early this morning and get it all set up after an event last night. It was in here, so I really thank them on behalf of all of us for having the Emmanuel Centre all set up. It's a big week in the Emmanuel Centre. Some of you will have hopefully be attending tomorrow night here, and in other parts of the school, the Careers Expo that's been running. Kicked off last night at Broward College, another event tonight at Warrnambool College, and then we host the third evening tomorrow night, and some great presentations and all sorts of organisations coming down, so I encourage you to get along to that Career Expo. I'd also like to thank Peter Sass up there in the AV box for all of his work on the PowerPoint there, and for Jean Christie for putting the presentation together. Once again, thanks to our guests Emma and Lisa from Cycling Without Age for their presentation, or from the Right to School coordinators. We very much appreciate your grant. Hope that everyone can support the casual dress day on Friday, and then we can enjoy a bit of a long weekend coming up before we gear up for the last couple of weeks of term.